Hey! I first off want to thank you guys for watching this video tonight. Um, Taking time out of your busy days to, press play and listen to what I have to say means a lot to me. Um, and I hope you keep watching my videos because I plan on making more. Um, they're very therapeutic to me, getting just sometimes saying things out loud makes a whole world of difference in how you see a situation, or you can hear what you're saying and really decide if that's how you feel about something. So I encourage you guys to do that, whether it's you're just saying it to yourself in an empty room to a camera and then you can play back and listen to it, or you're saying it to somebody that you really trust and that you know will give you good information back. But yeah, that's not what today's video is about, but that just kind of came from my heart right there, so hopefully it did you some good. um, Today's video is about overcoming totally crippling, self-defeating fear that you are just going to fail. Yeah, that's what I dealt with for a long time. Um, I have always been someone who was very goal driven and thought I knew what I wanted, and if I just did the right steps, that there's no way that I could fail. And for a lot of things that was true. If I just did the work, then it would turn out the way that I anticipated it would, and I was always happy. But when you throw life's little details like relationships and money and those sorts of things that sometimes you can't control, that's when life really throws you that curveball and you see what you're made of. For me, that happened back in 2009. I had just graduated from Treasure Valley Community College with my associate degree, and I was starting my first semester at Boise State University. And I was jacked, and I thought there was no way that I could fail or that I would have anything, that was super difficult. I would breeze through my classes and I would finish in 4, like the plan, that they say that is so doable for every college student. And if you I mean, I couldn't do it, but if you finish in 4, you are amazing. I'm just going to say that right now. But for me, that was not the case. Um, I was going for my degree in biology, and but really felt no, like people would ask me what I was going to do with it, and I had no idea. All I knew is that I liked animals and that I was maybe going to work at the zoo, but I had really no direction with that. And classes were super, super hard, and they were early in the morning, and I was trying to make friends, and I was in a relationship at that time that was struggling and trying to deal with that. And there were so many things that were, coming into play in that mixing bowl, and I felt myself crumbling, and I didn't know what to do. I started falling behind in classes, to the point where there was no way I could make it up. And so I just stopped going to classes. That was my first semester. Failed out. And at Boise State, you get 2 chances. So they say, okay, don't do bad again. Otherwise, you're kicked out. So I tried to super pump myself up and be like, yeah, you can do it. That was just a fluke last time. Like, you know what you're doing. You got this. Same thing happened. I got so self-defeated, I thought that I couldn't, I just thought I wasn't smart. And one thing that I always told myself growing up, because I had insecurity issues, was if you can't be the prettiest girl, at least be the smartest. And so, I'd always told myself that. So now I wasn't the smartest. So I wasn't pretty and I wasn't smart. And that is the worst combination that you can be telling yourself. So I knew I was letting my parents down. I was letting my other family down. I was letting myself down. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had been kicked out of Boise State. So there I was, kicked out of college, some place that I never thought I would be. I never thought that I would be a college dropout. At that point in my life, I was newly single, and I was searching for my purpose. And that's when I realized that I didn't know what I wanted. I thought I had an idea of what, other people had told me and projected that would be awesome, but it didn't fit my mold. So I just decided, because I was scared, that I would work for a while and see how that panned out. So I worked for a few years, and I met my amazing fiance, and he had graduated in 2010 from Boise State with his communication degree. Um, so fairy tale, we fell in love, moved in together, blah blah blah, and we had conversations about me going back to school because I had told him, what had happened and how close I was to graduating. And he'd always said, well, let's, you can go back. Let's do it. We'll do it together. But every time we talked about me going back, this just dread would hit me, and I would almost feel sick in my stomach because I would immediately get fearful that I would fail again. And it's not so much failing, a class, it was failing in life. Like that was something that I would never be able to do, that I wasn't smart enough, or that I wasn't, equipped enough to handle all of the stress, because it had hit me so hard back when I was in school, and everything fell apart. And I had made it to a point in my life then, as we're talking about all this, to where I felt safe again. And I did not want to go back to the uncomfortable zone where I didn't feel safe, or that I gave something the opportunity to rattle my life again. Like, I just wasn't ready for it. But what is so great about Ryan and he's my fiance, so I'll say Ryan from here on out, is that he's able to see into me and be able to identify those fears and then ask me if they're rational or not. So he would say, well, why are you scared? And I would say, well, because I just don't want I don't want to fail again. And he goes, well, so why did you fail last time? And we were able to identify why I failed last time is because I had too much expectation on myself, and if I even failed a little bit, then I gave up completely. I was in a relationship that was unhealthy, and that will cripple you faster than anything else will. So, my life was different than it was, back then when I was in school. So we talked about it, and he told me, you can do it. We will do it together. We will make this work. And I had to take the big step for myself and say, okay, I can do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to give myself the option to fail. Because if I'm trying to do my best and being realistic, as long as I get that paper turned in, or as long as I go and to do that test, or I show up for class, then there's no way that I can fail in the long run. So I enrolled, and I was terrified. I felt sick. I didn't sleep at all the night before school started. As I was walking into classes, like, I was looking around and I was seeing everybody, and everyone looked so smart, and everybody would start talking in class, and everybody used huge giant words and just had very educated answers, and I was trying to figure out where I fit in. And after a couple days and a couple of assignments, and just jumping in and being like, I can do this. I have the tools. Now I just need to implement it and make it work because I want it bad enough. I figured it out. And I remember sitting in class, and it was probably the third week. And I just remember thinking, you got this. Like, this is nowhere near the same experience as it was years ago. You're not the same person. You know exactly what you want. I changed my degrees to a communication degree instead, because understanding how people work and why they do the things they do and where the communication hangups happen just exhilarates me. So once I got into classes that I actually cared about and that inspired me to think and have conversations about stuff I've never had conversations about before, that's when I knew that there was no chance I was going to fail. My first semester back, I took 12 credits. My next semester, I took 15. And my last semester, I took 18. And I rocked it. I got all A's and B's. And I was really proud of myself. And I graduated last month, December 19th. And it was one of the best feelings I'd ever felt. I'm getting emotional, but I had that fear that I wouldn't be good enough and that I wasn't smart enough, and I let it hold me back for 3 years, and that affected all of my relationships because I wasn't happy. And once I got back into school and started, challenging what I thought I knew about myself and proving, that terrible record, that negative record in my head, and proving it wrong, that I wasn't dumb, or, that I wasn't lazy, or just all of those terrible self-defeating things that we all say in our heads. It was one step at a time, but I was able to say, shut up. Those things aren't true. You're smart and you're capable of doing this, and you can do anything that you set your mind to. And that set my life on fire. That was, it might seem like a tiny thing that ignited, just this passion inside of me. And then I was able to do other things that made me happy and not feel scared to try. I own my own crafting business now. I crochet and I make tiny miniature foods now. That's my new thing. And people love it. But if I thought that, oh, I've never tried that, that looks really hard and I'll never be good at it, then I never would have tried it. And I also would have never started Any Girl Fitness. And I've been doing it. Next month will be a year. And I have helped numerous women lose over 250 pounds in this year combined, and that is a huge accomplishment. They did the work. All I did was show up, and make videos and say, you can do it. Because if I can do it, you can do it. It's all about changing that negative record in your mind and just pulling those bootstraps up and saying, I'm going to give it my best damn shot, and I might fail, but I'm going to keep going because it's something that I love and it's something that I want to do. And college was that for me. It's not about going and learning skills to work in corporate America. Going to school for me was learning how to think, to be just a thinker and ask questions and look outside of, what is considered right and normal, and, push the boundaries of stuff. Like, college to me is, I got a piece of paper and I can get a better paying job, but that doesn't mean anything to me if I can't go out into the world and make it a better place or help inspire people. And that is what all of my professors did for me, is they made me think outside of the box. They made me question myself, the way that I operate and do things, my insecurities, whether it's rational. And I mean, it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. No one can ever take away an education. So if you keep trying to learn new things, that is the best thing that you can ever do for yourself. Whether it's a new craft, or you want to learn a new language, or, anything. Don't ever stop learning. I graduated college, but that doesn't mean that my education stops there. I want to be a lifelong learner, and that's what I know makes me happy and inspires me to try so many new things that other people find that they love as well. I would have never made a video where I cried on it or that I poured my soul out, or said where I failed and then, how I turned it around and made it work 4 years ago. I wasn't that person. Surrounding myself with positive people that love me and can see the potential inside of me and never give up and inspire me to, do these kind of things, is what was the catalyst to my life. And I want to be that. If I'm just that for one person, you watch my video and be like, heck yeah, like, now I feel like I want to try, I've done my job. And that is what makes me the most happy. Um, so no matter what it is, whether you're wanting to go back to school, and that's going to fulfill something for you that you've always wanted, go and do it. Do not wait another day. Do not. Because if you keep putting it off, it just gets easier to keep putting it off. Go out and capture that now. Um, whether it's trying something new, something healthy, whether it's going and buying a bicycle and going for a mountain bike ride, like, do it. Do not continue to wait and live in that cage. We build our own bars in our own cages, and we are the only ones that can let ourselves free. Don't be a caged animal. Do not be scared to go out into the world. Do not be afraid to fail. We are all going to fail, and it's going to suck, but you got to get up, and you can't let it cripple you. I let it cripple me for too long, and I think about it now and think of how many things I could have done if I wouldn't have let, me get inside my own mind and say that I wasn't good enough. Because we're all good enough. All of us, every single one of you, you're good enough to achieve everything that you want. You're smart enough, you're beautiful enough. And it's not vain to say that, because you should feel that about yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love others. And that's something I truly, truly believe. You have to love yourself, and getting there is a journey, but going out and experimenting with new things that you love and that you find interest in enables your soul to kind of start to blossom. I know that sounds really hippie, but it's true. That's how I feel like I've kind of unfurled in the past couple years, and I'm a lot more relaxed and less tense, and I do things that I love, and I find myself being surrounded by people that are the exact same way. What you project is what you get back. So if there's any way that I can help you, I know how to apply for college and for FAFSA. If that's something that you're wanting to go back and do, but you feel scared that you don't know how to do it, send me a private message. I would be more than happy to give you some pointers on where to start. Or anything health and fitness related, I can definitely help you there. That's my business now. If you want to learn how to crochet or do anything else, my other business is called The Cuddle Shop. You can find me on Facebook. But yeah, so just don't give up. If there's something that you want, go out and get it. You're good enough, you're smart enough. Find the tools you need to get you there, and you can do anything that you want. I love you all, and I hope you have a fantastic night.